This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty. What's up, Perk?
Big O, how you doing, man? Garbage? I heard garbage like 3 times there, Big O.
Oh, yeah, this is garbage. Bro, the season's so over. It's been over. But you know what? I will say this. I felt good for Tyler Huntley because, dude, we all have dreams in life and we all want to keep them alive and we fight to keep them alive. And he has his own battle going on that has nothing to do with the Dolphins' existence. He's trying to make a living and trying to keep a dream alive of becoming a quarterback in the NFL. And he went through the injury. Plus, he's got a guy on the sidelines that has no idea what the hell he's doing. And so, God bless him. Today, he hit some really nice passes. You know, the Browns didn't figure out that he's good with the slant. So that was good. And he took advantage of it. And the kid ran and all that. So there are moments, you know, I feel good for Huntley. I feel like the Dolphins organization doesn't deserve Calais Campbell. You know, those are the things that kind of go through my mind when I'm watching this game.
Big O, it wasn't a pretty game, but they were resourceful and they did what they had to do to win. What I liked about this game is, you know, I always talk about this team's fighting spirit. I've written about this team's fighting spirit. I am a big fan of this team's fighting spirit. Look, what we had tonight was a situation of Tua wasn't out there. You only had Teron for half the game. Achane had – what did he have, like 70 yards from scrimmage or something like that? He had 13 receiving and 38 yards from scrimmage. Jonnu Smith with 26 yards receiving. But you had guys like Patrick Paul stepping up, and it wasn't always pretty. I mean, he's going up against Myles Garrett. Tyrell Dodson, Big O, 15 tackles and an interception. You had a bunch of guys just doing things that, you know, you kind of think these guys aren't that great, but they're doing what they have to do. This is a team that's now won, 6 out of their last 8. 6 out of their last 8. And so, you know, my hat is off to them. No, it wasn't pretty. I don't know if you would call the Dolphins a good team. I would not, but hey, they could be a playoff team, and that's better than missing the playoffs.
Yeah, I just that part I still don't see it, and I don't see how Kansas City wins that game next week when they have nothing at all to play for whatsoever. In fact, it's better for them to lose that game because Denver is a better opponent to possibly knock out the Bills than the Dolphins. So you're actually doing yourself a disservice by winning and allowing the Dolphins because they're just going to be, you know, a welcome mat to the Bills. You know, that's all they're going to be. But at least Denver may have a chance to actually get it done. So I just don't see that. They're playing for the 9-8 and the winning season, and that's the resume that they can turn to the owner and yada, 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 and if. But let's go to the if, because that's the real story that's going on this week. The real story is the quarterback. He refuses to take care of himself, okay? It's his ignorance. It's his selfishness, okay? He thinks he's a football player. He thinks he's Josh Allen. He refuses to understand that he is not a person that should be taking on any kind of contact. It's tough enough just to play in the pocket. Okay, you're going to get injured just playing in the pocket. But if you want to go out and seek contact, your body's not made for it, and you don't want to learn. And even when you said it a few weeks back, I feel bad about leaving my guys hang out to dry, boom, you do the stupid move against Houston, and here you are. And in the end, you know, the tombstone should read at the end of the season, Tua fucked the Dolphins, because that's exactly what he did this year. Everything he's done, he brings it on himself. He chooses to run into DeMar Hamlin. He chooses to dive head first. He's the one that chooses to tell you, I'm going to play to the death. And that's because he has this warrior mentality, this, you know, machismo bullshit that he's got to prove. Bro, we know you're tough, dude. but you're not durable. We know you're tough, but you're not durable. You know, my Yorkie weighs 4 pounds. Toughest son of a bitch in the world. Durable? No. And
well, I don't fault Tua for the Damar Hamlin thing, and you know, he went head first. Who would have thought he was going to get concussed from that? You ran into the guy's rib cage and shoulder and arm. I mean, come on, Big O. Like, you know, come on. You know, but I will fault him for.
Let me ask you something.
Yep,
when has he proven to be durable in these collisions? I
Tua's
mean,
Tua's taken a bunch of hits.
He takes hits, but collisions when he is taking people on, that's not. He's not set. When he tried to tackle somebody, he got a knee in the head.
Right. I fault him for that. I fault him for diving head first, but not Damar Hamlin. How many people in the history of the league have been concussed in that situation? I mean, he ran into a guy. It happened. Don't do it again. Learn from it. The going head first at the knees for the interception on the interception return to make a tackle, you can't do that. And the going head first against Houston, you can't do that. But the Damar Hamlin, and look, you know, as much as Tua has done, it's 50-50 with not having a better plan at backup quarterback.
I get all of that.
So I understand what you're saying with Tua screwing them and all that, but they screwed themselves with a bad plan. And so, look, at the end of the day, Tua is going to have to change his style of play. He said he was going to, but he didn't. They know much more about this injury than we do at this point. I just don't understand how this went from like 0 to 60 in a couple of days. And you know, McDaniel said that surgery is not something that they're considering. It's not an option right now. He said it's not related to the hip injury he had at Alabama, but boy, the injuries just they're always there for Tua. You know, last year was the exception when he played every game, 17 regular season and the playoff game. But boy, Big O, they've got to think about the future of that quarterback position. What are you going to do in the offseason, not only for a veteran backup, but, you know, do you need to go a little step beyond a veteran backup, somebody who could challenge Tua for the starting job, which, you know, salary wise, and you're not benching Tua, but somebody of that caliber, somebody who can start 8 or 10 games for you, because that could be the reality.
Okay, Perk. First of all, let's stop with this silliness. Nobody brings in quarterbacks to challenge your starter. That's silliness. That's silly talk. That never happens in the NFL.
You're not,
okay?
But Big O, you're not. I don't say that as you're going to have a competition.
Now, there's no competition, bro. Nobody.
No, there's not. There's not. That's what I'm saying. You need a caliber.
But my point is, the silliness is brought up by writers. It's brought up by fans. There's no competition. I'm not saying that. Okay, but I'm just saying,
right.
Don't mention the word competition.
100% correct.
It's freaking backup. That's it. Now, let me challenge.
No. He has to be a backup plus. He's got to be. Look, because of Tua's right that we're getting at the same point here.
Outside of Flacco last year, and it's a Hostetler. How many times does the backup really save your ass in the history of the NFL? Like Morrill? We want to go all the way back to Earl Morrill?
No,
yeah,
you could get a
quarterback to get for you, then maybe, yeah. But how many times does that happen that you're going to have a playoff caliber quarterback like Earl Morrill back up Bob Greasy? It's not going to happen, bro. There aren't really a lot of backups with that coach that's going to actually really lift your season up. If Tua goes down, you know, unless – what are you going to get? You're going to get this guy from Atlanta if he takes a backup job.
Oh, Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins, that's like the best that you can do.
That's what I'm talking about, Big O. A backup plus. Somebody like a Teddy Britt, as opposed to Skyler, as opposed to a first-round rookie draft pick who has never started. Yeah. You need somebody who could, if they have to, start 8 or 9 games. Nick Foles won. Right? Look, we saw Brock Purdy win. And look, Big O, here's the key to the whole thing. It's not all on the quarterback. You've got to change your system to where it's not so quarterback dependent. They've got to get out of this. You've got to get a better running game. You've got to get a playmaking defense. You've got the tight end. You need the slot receiver. You've got to build this team, not just the passing game. You've got to build the team. And that's the big thing with getting the backup quarterback so that a Nick Foles can do something for you.
Right. But when you start a Nick Foles, it's because you have no quarterback.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But a Nick Foles can succeed because you've got a system around him.
Right. You got lucky that the stars lined around. They had an amazing offense and defense that all he had to do was make a few plays like Trent Dilfer, and you win a Super Bowl. But again,
Brock Purdy, that's what you want. That's a team. That's how you build a team. You don't just build a passing game. You build a team.
No backup quarterback was saving the Dolphins this season. No, they're just not saving the Dolphins.
A good backup quarterback, somebody like a Teddy Bridgewater. Again, Big O, you're not looking for the guy to make the Pro Bowl. That's unrealistic.
I saw Teddy.
You're looking for
bro. I saw Teddy Bridgewater already. That's straight up hot garbage.
But you need a veteran backup, Big O. That's my point. Somebody
great mind for the game. His body cannot do what his mind wants. Teddy Bridgewater is not the answer, please. Come on, bro. He's not going to.
Big O, again, don't get caught up on the names. Get caught up on what I'm saying. You need a veteran backup, a backup plus, okay? You can't have Skyler. You can't have a rookie. You can't. You just can't. You need somebody who you put him in there, and he's not going to lose the game for you. You
can't have an offensive line. You can't have an offensive line that's a sieve. You can't have a non-existent running game that has to be dedicated every single week. So if you don't have that, it doesn't matter who the hell the quarterback is, dude. You know what I mean?
I know, that's what I'm telling you. That's why they've got to build a team, not just a passing game. That's what I'm saying. Like it can't all be on the backup. You have to have the backup to make timely plays, maybe win you a couple of games. But if he plays 8 games, the team has to win like 6 or 7 of them, not the backup quarterback. Right. Exactly. So that's what helps guys like Brock Purdy and Nick Foles, is that you've got a lot of help around you. So the Dolphins have to build a team in that fashion in the offseason and kind of change the thinking and the mentality. And that way you give yourself a better chance when you have to play a quarterback such as Tua, who, whether it's because of he's injury prone or because he won't change his ways, if he goes down, you still give yourself a chance.
Yeah, well, we'll see if that's the case, because right now it's hard to understand if Tua, because you can't count on him anymore.
Correct. You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
It's not about his body. It's about he refuses to take care of his body, and so the game is dangerous as it is. Yep. But if you're not going to actually be responsible out there, that's why he's not playing next week. He's done. What McDaniel told you guys already, he tells you right away he's not playing, pretty much, because if they don't want to injure it, what, a week is going to make a difference? Of course not. And you already screwed up with Jalen Phillips. You didn't give him a real training camp to really get in shape. You overworked him. And then when he injures his knee, you go, wait a minute, that's your surgically repaired leg. And you kind of tweak your knee. Here's a brace. Go back out there, young man. So they were already freaking stupid with the Jalen Phillips situation, and they lost him for the year. What you should have done with Jalen Phillips is when he got injured there, you should have kept him out, and maybe he might be playing right now, actually. He might have not further injured. You know what I'm saying? So you screwed up with Jalen. Maybe I think that's what they're learning here with Tua, and say, hey, we got another injury-prone player. Let's hold him out. Let's get him prepared for next year. Plus, he refuses to take care of himself. And he's not even mobile. He's even less mobile than what he normally is with that hip injury. Give me a break.
Next week is going to be interesting between Tua and Tehran. Now look, what's his face? Will McDonald, right? Will McDonald, the Jets edge rusher. He's nothing great, But, you know, he can make a play or two in what I think will probably be a fairly tight game. And so all of these, you know, the offense, and if Achan doesn't have a good game and if Jonnu doesn't have a good game, look, you can bet the Jets are not going to let Tyreek get 100 yards. You know, that's got to be the first thing that you're going to cut off. And then we'll see what happens out there offensively for the Dolphins.
Perk, the Jets looked like they were quitting today, bro.
Yeah, they have nothing to play for, right? They're probably just hoping that Aaron Rodgers' era ends. Just get it over with.
I think he doesn't play next week.
That would be very interesting. I mean, the Jets, they don't care. They're getting rid of him anyway, so who cares about his feelings? It'll be interesting to see if he plays and how he plays.
There's a play where he hands off on a short yardage, they don't get it, and he's like walking away, like and he's like his hands are up, like, and I'm like, whoa, bro, this is bad.
Yeah,
like it was bad today. Like I think the Dolphins get a real break next week. I was terrified of that game because it's Jets Dolphins. I've seen good Dolphins teams lose to really bad Jet teams. You know what I mean? I've seen that.
Yep.
And, but like, wow, I saw that today and I was like, okay, I think they might get a break. The thing is, the other thing is not going to work out for them. Denver has everything to play for and Kansas City has nothing to play for. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know how it works out. But how do you guys approach this Tua thing? Because people aren't being upfront about everything that's gone on.
Well, you just have to kind of work it from every angle that you can, and really the big thing is, how did the injury get so much worse in a matter of days and during practice? Not a game. This isn't the stress of a game, but how did this thing go from 0 to 60 in like 2 or 3 days? And boy, if it did that quickly and you're ruling out surgery, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this injury right now, Big O. But the progression of it from, on Wednesday they're saying, it's kind of December football, or that's what Frank Smith was saying. And look, I understand you want to keep a competitive advantage, right? So you're not going to tell us, no, Tua's injured, he's not playing. Wow. But there's a difference between competitive advantage and lying, and I at least say, Tua, he's a little slowed or something other than he's 100% and everything is fine. I don't appreciate that. I understand competitive advantage, but I kind of feel we were lied to a little bit. But let's see how this thing shakes out.
Hey, the Jalen Phillips situation. Think about that. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So he had an injured knee, and then you put a brace on and you sent him out there. And how can you guarantee me it wasn't torn before he left out there? But last time I checked, he could still walk and play when he went to you, and then when he went back with a brace, it was gone. So were you stupid to put him back out there, or were you stupid to put on a brace and
say it wasn't going to get worse?
Right, it wasn't going to get worse. Like, which stupid decision did you make here with Jalen Phillips? Because neither one was intelligent.
Yeah,
that's the amazing part about all of this.
Yeah.
So I haven't heard any explanation. I haven't seen people put their feet to the fire. But if I have to look at, Chubb was playing in a meaningless game last year. I'm looking at the way you handle Jalen Phillips. I'm looking at Tua. So wait a minute. He injured his repaired hip, and you played him last week? What?
I don't have a problem with him playing last week. I just want to know how it got so bad during practice.
Because he played him last week. That's what it was. He re-aggravated it last week, and then in practice it just got worse and worse because you don't give it any time to rest.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can say that, Big O. I don't know if you can say that. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see.
What can they say? What can they say? Because all I have is proof of you getting hit on the field. They're not going to hit you in practice.
Well, but you don't know if it was a weightlifting thing. You don't know if he did tweak it in practice.
You're not doing weights at this point in the season either.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. 100%. You are. And you can always get hurt. They lift. They do lift. Yes, they 100%.
2 weeks ago, getting hit by Houston, he was not lifting after that with that hip. There's no way he injured his hip right there and then.
Big
Right?
I don't. I mean, you can't say that. You can't say that. I mean, you have no. That's just speculation on your part. I mean, look, they lift. They lift during the week. I don't know exactly what they do. Look, and at this time of year, everything is tapered, right? You're not hitting in practice. You're not. Matter of fact, they've scaled back practices quite often to walkthroughs because it's week 17, week 16. But you're still lifting. You're still doing things. You're still doing conditioning. You're still doing stuff after practice. It's not like you back off on that. We see them doing it, so we know that they're doing it. We hear the music in the weight room when they're in there. So we know that they're doing it. You're not doing, 500-pound squats. We know that. But anything from leg press or anything, I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. It's all speculation to say that he shouldn't have played against San Francisco or that he couldn't have injured. That's the only way that he could have injured the hip. We don't know. David Garrard injured his knee in the swimming pool at home.
Yeah. The only problem is we're not talking. That's a flukish thing. Here we're talking about a track record now. We're watching you mishandle several players now. And so that to me becomes an issue. You know what I'm saying? I look at it and I say you put Jalen Phillips back out there and now you put Tua out there and that's all in one season. I mean,
and part of it, Big O, is that you keep relying on injury-prone players, right? Tua, Teron, Raheem Mostert, Bradley Chubb. Like, you kind of get what you pay for at a certain point.
You want to know a disturbing one?
What's that?
I'm surprised Achane is still healthy.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Oh, you want more irresponsibility? That's irresponsible. Why'd you draft Jalen Wright, bro? Why? Why the hell did you draft Jalen Wright? It was to take the load off of your two injured backs at the end of the year. Yeah. Well, guess what? One of them is injured again, and he's still playing Mostert.
I don't think they trust Jalen Wright. I mean, him and Skyler after that fumble. Neither of them have played much.
Well, listen, I got to go track record. They don't trust Gesicki. Well, the Cincinnati Bengals do. So I don't trust them, dude. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm different than you. They have failed my test over. And you play Julian Hill every week, and he's a constant fuck-up, bro. Every week. You don't care about your team. If you play that guy every week, you lack discipline. That's why shit like that happens, bro.
We've like switched roles from the last couple of years, right? Remember in 2022 when I was the hated guy and I was saying this team is not that good and I picked them to finish 8-9 and now I'm more optimistic about them than you are.
Well, no, it's McDaniel that pisses me off. I think this team's talent is much better. They should have won more games. I look at the year, they should have won more games. I should have looked at the year before, should have won more games. First half of the flow year, you should have won more games. Those difficult games, you should have won some. Yeah. I think overall the talent has been better in the last 4 years. That the two coaches have failed to maximize their talent, and that to me is a problem. And now, again, as much as I like the front office, that falls on them. They haven't found the right coach.
Yeah. No, I believe that. And look, I've always said McDaniel's teams have underachieved and disappointed every year. And it's because you have this flawed offensive system of passing to Tyreek, and it finally got figured out by everybody. This last year, it started to get figured out. Okay, again, they're 8-0 last year when Tyreek has 100 or more yards receiving, 2-7 when he doesn't. Teams know that. And everybody beefed up on Tyreek this year, and your offense went to hell, and you had to go to this dink and dunk offense. So, no, I'm not I like Mike McDaniel personally and professionally.
He looks like
he's got to grow. He needs to grow. He needs to grow as a coach, though.
But dude, how long do you wait? I know they're all coming back. I get it. They're all fiscally tied.
Probably.
You can't get out of Tyreek's contract. You can't get out
of financially married to these guys. Yeah.
Chubb's the only one, and they told you this week they're cutting him by not playing him this week. That's it. They're done. They're going to move on because they'll cut him post June and they'll open. They have to. They have no choice. They have other.
You
places.
need the money from him and Teron. You need that money off the books.
You need that money.
I don't know, but Chubb. I've said this though, Big O. I would not do anything with Chubb because, again, I would want Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Chop Robinson all there together because I don't know that Chubb or Phillips is going to get to 100% next season. I have no guarantee of that. So I would rather keep both of them and have a developing youngster, but we'll see what happens there.
But the flip side of your point right there is, well, you have a chance to open up 20 million June 1st if you do let go Chubb and you have an opportunity and you say, okay, well, wait a minute, I'll bring back Agba. I've got Chop. I've got Phillips. If I can get myself another, and Kamara is a developmental guy. If I could go get myself a veteran for a cheaper price, then I still have enough. And shit, Chop had a really good year opposite of nobody.
Good second half of the year.
Yeah. Well, of course, he's a young and he's got to grow.
Yeah.
And so if he can have a terror like Jalen Phillips next year, they're healthy, that's going to be scary for that. So that would be cool. And Agba, I think I would bring back Agba. He made another play again today, man. He does a nice job. All right, what do you got going on the Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Well, Big O, tonight I'm going to write about it was a very weird game, right? A very weird, bizarre victory. It wasn't pretty, but they got it done. My hat is off to them. Their fighting spirit, the depth of the roster. You don't have a whole lot of Pro Bowl backups, a bunch of high quality, but they got the job done. Granted, against a bad team, whatever, they got the job done. So I'll have that. And then midweek, I'll look at the 30-somethings on this team and what they got out of them, what they plan on doing next year. Teron and Calais and Poyer and Raheem, Kendall Lamb. Shaq Barrett didn't work out. Marcus May didn't work out as far as 30-somethings. But, yeah, I'll kind of look at what the 30-somethings did for them this year and who could be back among the 30-somethings next season.
All right, good stuff. Follow him on Twitter at Chris Perk, and better yet, subscribe and support him at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Perk, have a fantastic week. It all ends on Sunday for you, my brother.
It does. Happy New Year to you and everybody out there watching, Big O.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, my friend.
All right, man.
Thank you, sir. You got it. EJD Construction. We love Eric, proud sponsor of our program, of me and Sean for many years now, and we appreciate it, man. 305-433-4843. Go to ejdconstruction.com. Great people, Dade or Broward County. They don't do condos, just in case, because sometimes, people call it condos, and they don't. They only do homes and businesses, too. Shell construction in-house. How they keep the prices down. Reach out to Eric. This is his personal cell number, 305-433-4843. So if you're going to redo that home, the roof, whatever it is, you need to add a second floor to your house, whatever it is. We had a listener once, and I'm always keeping that in mind because I would love to do that. He put an observation deck on top of his roof. So you go up in a stair and hang out, and he gets to smoke a cigar and look out and all that, and the stars and stuff. So it's actually a pretty cool idea. Whatever it is that you have, custom home construction, you call EJD Construction, 305-433-4843.